So there I was, Captain Maya Torres, having what I generously call the absolute worst Tuesday of my smuggling career, when the Vorth Empire decided to crash my party. And by party, I mean the luxury cruise ship Stellar Princess, where I was definitely not running contraband through the buffet supply chain. Definitely not. The Vorth are basically what happens when you give militant accountants spaceships and delusions of galactic importance. Picture this: 7-foot-tall gray stick figures who dress like they're attending a funeral for fun itself, and who have apparently made it their life's mission to drain every ounce of joy from the universe through pure bureaucratic efficiency. Captain Torres, announces Blorgan, my gelatinous first mate who looks like someone dropped a philosophy major into a vat of lime jello. I believe we are experiencing what humans call a predicament of significant proportions. No kidding, Blob Boy. 3 Vorth ships had just surrounded us like we were the last slice of pizza at a college party. "Attention biological entities," crackled our comm system in a voice that sounded like someone had taught a calculator to hate, that prepare for routine inspection per galactic code subsection 47-B-efficiency protocols. Captain Nexus Prime, our ship's AI who somehow developed both artificial intelligence and an artificial superiority complex, chimed in with his usual helpfulness. "Forsooth, dear Captain, methinks these Vorth fellows approach with intentions most inspectorious." "Did you just make up a word and add Shakespeare to it?" I asked. "Indeed, 'tis my most creative subroutine." "Please stop." The Vorth boarding party arrived with all the warmth of an IRS audit. Their leader, who introduced himself as Sub-Commander Filing Cabinet or something equally soul-crushing, immediately began scanning everything with devices that beeped disapprovingly at fun. "What is this?" he demanded, holding up my secret stash. "Oregano," I said innocently. "Oregano," he shrieked like I'd just confessed to genocide. "This substance is classified as a chemical weapon in 47 star systems. Do you realize the paperwork violations alone could destabilize 3 sectors? Apparently Earth spices are to aliens what nuclear weapons are to humans, except more terrifying because at least nuclear weapons don't make your food taste good. Who knew that bringing a little flavor to the galaxy would make me public enemy number 1? "But it's just oregano," I protested. "Just oregano? This contains compounds that could make food actually enjoyable. The efficiency reports alone would take decades to process." And that's when I realized I wasn't dealing with a military force. I was dealing with the galaxy's most heavily armed cleaning service with a serious case of control issues. Part 2, the capture. Efficiency meets stupidity. Commander Klaxon, because of course his name sounds like a warning alarm, processed my arrest with the enthusiasm of someone filing quarterly tax returns. His ship, the Efficient Resolution, looked like what would happen if IKEA designed a spaceship and forgot to include anything that might accidentally cause happiness. Everything was beige, not gray, not white, but that soul-crushing beige that screams abandon hope, all ye who enter here. The corridors were marked with helpful signs like Detention Processing Area 7B and Emotional Suppression Zone, no laughing. "Prisoner 447B7, Klaxon announced, consulting what appeared to be the galaxy's most boring clipboard, that you have been found guilty of possession of flavor-enhancing substances with intent to distribute joy." "That's not even a real crime," I pointed out. Article 12C of the Galactic Efficiency Code clearly states that any substance capable of improving morale beyond acceptable parameters constitutes a threat to orderly society. I was beginning to understand why half the galaxy was terrified of these guys. They hadn't conquered through superior firepower or tactical genius. They'd bored their enemies into submission. The processing center looked like a DMV designed by robots who had only heard rumors about what emotions were. Other prisoners sat in perfectly spaced chairs, looking like they'd had their souls professionally dry cleaned. "Your execution has been scheduled for optimal efficiency," Klaxon continued, still reading from his clipboard like he was ordering coffee. "You will be secured to a quantum detonation device that will simultaneously eliminate the prisoner and sanitize Waste Disposal System 7 Alpha. Expected completion time, 57 minutes and 34 seconds. You're going to execute me with a bomb that also cleans your garbage disposal?" Efficiency is our highest virtue, he said. Like this explained everything. A Vorth technician, whose name tag read Optimization Specialist Beige, led me through more beige corridors to what they cheerfully called the multi-purpose elimination chamber. It was a perfect white cube that would make minimalist artists weep with pure aesthetic joy. In the center sat what looked like a washing machine had a baby with a nuclear warhead and decided to paint it hospital white. Cables and blinking lights covered its surface, and a cheerful digital display counted down from 5734. The Flexi-Seal restraint system will ensure optimal containment, Beige explained, holding up what looked like duct tape's overachieving cousin. It has been tested against every conceivable escape method. Every conceivable method. Right there, they'd made their first mistake, because humans don't do conceivable. We specialize in the completely ridiculous. As Beige wrapped me to the bomb like the world's most depressing Christmas present, I started to smile. These efficiency-obsessed neat freaks had never met anyone stupid enough to try escaping with their teeth. I learned to show them what inconceivable really meant. The Flexi-Seal, as it turns out, is basically what happens when you give perfectionist engineers unlimited funding and a pathological fear of prisoners escaping. This stuff made titanium look like tissue paper and felt about as comfortable as being hugged by a mechanical octopus with control issues. 54 minutes and 12 seconds remaining, announced the bomb in a voice so cheerfully upbeat it could have been selling timeshares. Have a wonderfully efficient day. I tested the restraints. Nothing. I tried twisting my wrists. Still nothing. I attempted the classic dislocate your thumb escape technique I'd seen in movies. All I got was a dislocated thumb and the same amount of nothing, plus some creative new curse words. The chamber was so perfectly white and sterile it hurt to look at. No rough edges, no convenient sharp objects, no suspiciously placed laser cutters or conveniently malfunctioning security systems. Just me, a bomb, and approximately 53 minutes to figure out how to get out of restraints that had apparently been designed by someone who took prisoner containment as a personal insult. 49 minutes and 18 seconds remaining. Thank you for choosing Vorth Efficiency Solutions for your elimination needs. That's when I started thinking about my teeth. Not in a weird way, just in a hey, these are the only tools I have left way. I'd been a janitor for 12 years before accidentally becoming a space smuggler, and if there's one thing cleaning toilets teaches you, it's that sometimes the solution to impossible problems involves tools that were never meant for the job. I'd once fixed a broken pipe using nothing but dental floss and pure stubbornness. The apartment manager said it couldn't be done. The plumber said it was impossible. But that pipe stayed fixed for 3 years, and I got my security deposit back. The Flexi-Seal had been designed to resist cutting, tearing, burning, dissolving, and probably every other escape method in the known universe prisoner escape manual. But I was willing to bet that manual had been written by people who thought logically about these things. 45 minutes and 3 seconds remaining. Don't forget to rate your elimination experience. It's time to get illogical. I started working on the Flexi-Seal with my teeth. Not biting it exactly, more like, well, imagine you're trying to perform dental surgery on a piece of alien super tape while tied to a bomb. It's about as glamorous as it sounds. But here's the thing about Flexi-Seal that the Vorth, in all their efficiency-obsessed glory, had overlooked. It was designed to be perfect. Perfectly smooth, perfectly consistent, perfectly engineered, which meant it had perfectly consistent weak points, if you knew how to find them. And after 12 years of dealing with impossible maintenance problems, I developed what you might call an eye for structural weaknesses. Plus, my incisors had always been kind of sharp. 42 minutes and 17 seconds remaining. Your feedback matters to us. Shut up, bomb. I'm working here. Turns out the Vorth had made the same mistake that every overly engineered system makes. They'd optimized for everything except the completely stupid approach. Flexi-Seal could resist molecular disintegration, but apparently nobody had tested it against someone methodically working at its molecular structure with their canine teeth while muttering increasingly creative profanities. 38 minutes and 41 seconds remaining. We hope you're having an efficiently pleasant elimination experience. I'm going to reprogram you to only speak in haikus, I threatened the bomb, which responded with what I swear was a mechanical chuckle. The Flexazeel was starting to show signs of wear. Microscopic signs that required me to practically cross my eyes to see, but signs nonetheless. It turns out that 12 years of cleaning impossible messes had given me some unexpectedly useful skills, like the ability to spot structural weaknesses in materials that weren't supposed to have any. The bomb itself was fascinating in the way that overly complicated cleaning equipment always is. It had 17 different types of scrubbers, 43 sanitizing nozzles, and what appeared to be a built-in lint trap. The Vorth hadn't just built a bomb, they'd built the ultimate cleaning device that happened to explode. "You know what your problem is?" I said to the bomb, still working on the Flexazeel with my teeth. "You're trying to do too many things at once. Classic over-engineering." 34 minutes and 19 seconds remaining. Customer satisfaction is our top priority. I'd seen this before, back on Earth, in cleaning devices that were so loaded with features they forgot to actually clean things effectively. This bomb was trying to be a weapon, a garbage disposal, a sterilizer, and probably a floor waxer all at the same time. Which meant it probably had the same weakness as every overcomplicated piece of equipment I'd ever encountered. It was really good at doing everything according to plan, but absolutely terrible at handling anything unexpected. Like someone using their teeth to escape from theoretically inescapable restraints while having a philosophical discussion with a chatty bomb. 30 minutes and 7 seconds remaining. Don't forget to validate your parking. The Flexazeel finally gave way with a sound like a very polite burp. My left hand came free, followed quickly by my right. The restraints around my legs took another few minutes of creative dental work, but eventually I was sitting next to the bomb instead of being attached to it. 26 minutes and 33 seconds remaining. Thank you for being such an efficient prisoner. You're welcome, I said, because even when you're escaping from execution, basic politeness costs nothing. Now came the fun part. I had 26 minutes to escape from a ship full of efficiency-obsessed aliens who had probably never encountered a prisoner escape that involved this much saliva. Time to introduce the Vorth Empire to humanity's greatest superpower, making things work through sheer bloody-minded stubbornness and complete disregard for how things were supposed to be done. The first thing I did after freeing myself was have a little chat with my new bomb friend. 23 minutes is plenty of time to cause some serious inconvenience to people who had planned to execute me for the crime of making food taste good. So I said, examining the bomb's control panel, which looked like it had been designed by someone who thought user-friendly meant having only 47 different buttons. "You're connected to the ship's waste management system, right?" 22 minutes and 18 seconds remaining. "Yes, this unit interfaces with waste processing protocols for optimal efficiency." Perfect. Am I? Because if there's one thing I learned from 12 years of janitorial work, it's that every building's waste management system is connected to everything else in ways that make absolutely no sense but somehow keep working until someone like me comes along and presses the wrong button. I started pressing buttons. Not randomly, because I'm not stupid, but systematically. The way you do when you're trying to figure out which valve controls what when the building's plumbing diagram was apparently drawn by someone having a fever dream. "Warning," announced a new voice over the ship's intercom. "Waste management system experiencing optimization anomalies in Sector 7. Optimization anomalies is Vorth speak for something is going horribly wrong, and we don't have a procedure for it." I kept pressing buttons. The bomb, bless its chatty little circuits, was helpfully explaining what each one did. That button activates the bio-waste recycling matrix. This one controls atmospheric scrubbing protocols. Oh, that's a fun one. It manages the ship's entire environmental control system. 20 minutes and 4 seconds remaining. You're doing great. The alarm started about 30 seconds later. Not the gentle, efficient please report to your designated optimization station kind of alarms, but the full-blown everything is going wrong at once, and we don't know why klaxons that make everyone panic. I could hear Vorth personnel running through the corridors outside, shouting things like efficiency compromised in sectors 12 through 18. And someone called the optimization emergency response team. The environmental controls were the key. Once I figured out how to make the ship's air filtration system start working in reverse, things got really interesting. Turns out, when you pump processed waste gases into the command center instead of clean air, even the most efficiency-obsessed military force has trouble maintaining optimal performance. 18 minutes and 12 seconds remaining. The atmospheric recycling systems are experiencing unprecedented inefficiency. I found the door controls next. The Vorth, in their infinite wisdom, had connected everything to everything else for maximum efficiency. Which meant that once I convinced the waste management system that every door on the ship was actually a garbage chute, well, let's just say their security protocols got very confused very quickly. 15 minutes and 37 seconds remaining. Warning, multiple system cascade failures detected. The ship's intercom was now broadcasting a constant stream of increasingly panicked efficiency reports. Optimization breach in Sector 4. Unauthorized inefficiency in the command center. Someone please explain why the cafeteria is dispensing cleaning fluid instead of nutrition paste. I was having the time of my life. It had been years since I'd had a really good cleaning emergency to solve, and this was like every impossible maintenance disaster I'd ever faced, except in space and with higher stakes. 12 minutes and 8 seconds remaining. You know what? I'm starting to enjoy this chaos. Even the bomb was getting into the spirit of things. I patted its cheerfully blinking surface and headed for what I hoped was an exit, following the trail of increasingly desperate efficiency violations. Time to introduce the galaxy to the Maya Torres School of Creative Problem Solving. The recording went viral within 6 hours. Not just popular, not just trending, but full-blown galactic internet phenomenon viral. Apparently, watching a human escape from supposedly inescapable restraints using nothing but their teeth while simultaneously turning a military flagship into the universe's most expensive plumbing disaster was exactly the kind of content the galaxy didn't know it needed. The video, which someone had helpfully titled "Human Uses Dental Hygiene to Destroy Vorth Efficiency," racked up 2 billion views on GalacticTube in its first day. The comments section was pure gold. How did she know which buttons to press? Asked a Centauri engineer. She didn't, replied a human commenter. She just pressed buttons until something interesting happened. It's called the human method. That's not a method. That's chaos, protested someone with 17 consonants in their username. Exactly, came the reply. Commander Claxon, to his credit, survived the experience. He also submitted a 17,000-page incident report that immediately became required reading at every military academy in the galaxy. Not for its tactical insights, but as an example of what happens when unstoppable efficiency meets immovable stubbornness. The Vorth Empire, faced with the humiliation of being outsmarted by what their reports officially classified as improvised dental applications in a tactical environment, but they withdrew to their home system for what they called a comprehensive efficiency reassessment. Unofficially, they were having a collective nervous breakdown. 3 months later, I received an official communication from the Galactic Council. Not an arrest warrant, not a fine for damages, but a job offer. Apparently, watching me turn the galaxy's most feared military force into a plumbing emergency had impressed some people. The Council wanted to establish the first human ingenuity consulting program, with me as the director. Think about it, explained Counselor Zephyria, a being who looked like someone had crossed a butterfly with a filing cabinet. Every species in the galaxy has problems that seem impossible to solve using conventional methods. And you want me to solve them using unconventional methods? We want you to solve them using human methods. The pay was ridiculous. Not just good, but embarrassingly, outrageously, by your own space station ridiculous. Apparently, the ability to make things work through pure stubbornness and inappropriate tool usage was a rare and valuable skill set. My first class had 12 students, 7 military commanders, 3 engineers, and 2 beings I'm pretty sure were actually living mathematics equations. The course description read, Applied Human Problem Solving, Making the Impossible Work Through Spite and Dental Floss. Today I announced to my class of very serious aliens, we're going to learn about the fundamental principle of human engineering, If it's stupid, and it works, it's not stupid. A Regellian general raised what I think was a hand. But what if it's stupid and it doesn't work? Then you haven't been stupid enough yet. And that's how humanity became known throughout the galaxy as the species you call, when conventional solutions fail, impossible is just a starting point. And you absolutely, positively need something fixed using whatever random junk happens to be lying around. Who knew that 12 years of unclogging toilets would qualify me to be an ambassador for my entire species? But then again, diplomacy and plumbing have more in common than most people realize. Both involve dealing with a lot of crap, both require creative solutions to impossible problems, and both are a lot easier when you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. Or in my case, use your teeth.